Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, with me, Izza Maulidy. I am a student of English Educational Department from University Nazrul Ulama of Blitar. In this video, I want to tell you all about teach vocabulary. Okay, we continue about the table of content of this video. The first is vocabulary. We're talking about the teaching vocabulary, meaning and purpose. The second is teaching, what we should to teach in vocabulary. So the third, activities. We'll define the activities we can apply in teaching vocabulary. And the fourth is practice. Practice one of teaching method for vocabulary from one or another method in vocabulary teaching. Okay, just get started. For the first is vocabulary. For vocabulary, vocabulary learning is central to language acquisition, whether the language is first, second, or foreign. As we know, the vocabulary is important to students actually for foreign language to learn another language that they need to know about their vocab and try to make sentence to speak or write. And for the native, they're in the first or the second, like a child or second primary school, they still need to know about the vocabulary to develop their own languages. So for the vocabulary teaching was in large part due to language teaching approach based on a thorough linguistic theories that had been dominant through the 1940 till 1960. That in American they will look that the teaching vocabulary is very effective in their own grammatical or in their daily activities with teaching practice. Okay, for the second is teaching. Talk about teaching vocabulary. What the teacher should to teach their learners and what should the teacher do to apply in teaching method of vocabulary, because vocabulary is an important beside of grammar, and this will apply by learners to complete their speaking well or writing and apply in their daily activities or in their studies. There are several methods in teaching vocabulary, but I will take up three methods with their activities. The first is learning word association list. In these activities, we began This use with beginning level. The teaching of word list through word association technique has proved to be successful way to learn a large number of words in a short period and retell them over time. For the second is focusing on highlight word in text. For instance, that knowing meaning and hopeful can make the learning of meaningful easier. This result should not be surprising given that words are associated in various ways and that this association reflects underlying relationship in the mind. And then in this method of teaching vocabulary that we want to teach the student to focus on highlight text, not on the all of the context. And the third example is playing vocabulary games. There are several games that can be used in teaching vocabulary, like Scrabble, word bingo, assertion, password, geometry, etc. Why the teacher can use these games because the language game have the added advantage of being fun, competitive, and consequently memorable. These games are also activities that students can be encouraged to do on their own. They can enjoyable to learning about English. Actually, memorizing a vocabulary with joy and fun may help them to improve an additional of vocabulary of the student. For the short is activities. I'll take one of the teaching vocabulary method by focusing on highlight word in text. In teaching vocabulary by focus on highlight word in text, there are several steps. A beginning step is to get the learners to look closely at the unknown word. There are a context. We take an example, a context. We need to tell to the student, they need to read it and look closely at the unknown word they may found in a context or some sentence. Second, next to look at its immediate context and then to take a much broad view of how the clause containing the word relates to other clauses, sentence, or paragraph. And then we doesn't need to look on a dictionary or another toolset. We just tell to the student about the text or a word they may unknow the meaning by relate it with another word in close sentences or paragraph. For the final step in teaching vocabulary by focus on highlight word in text is include using knowledge gained from such clues to guess the meaning of the word and the checking in the following ways to see if the guess is correct. Because we can to to know about a known word before just based on what we relate with another word, but we need to know what the context is talking about and what this context want us to know about it. For the last content, number 4 is practice. Let's practice about the focusing on highlight word in text for vocabulary in classes.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, students.
Morning.
How are you today?
Fine. And you? And you?
I'm fine too. Thank you. Okay, our lesson today is vocabulary. Baik, pada pelajaran kali ini kita akan mempelajari tentang vocabulary. Jadi, saya meminta kalian untuk menebak arti dari sebuah teks. Saya akan memberi sebuah contoh. Jadi ini ada sebuah konten. Sebelumnya saya ingin bertanya, apakah ada yang tahu artinya?
Tidak.
Baiklah, kita akan mencoba menebak arti dari kata yang bergaris bawah. Kita mulai dari kata removing seed from cotton plants was a slow job. Jadi kita memindahkan biji dari kapas, dari tumbuhan kapas, merupakan sebuah pekerjaan yang lambat. Jadi saya menggunakan cotton gin untuk mempercepat pemisahan kapas dengan bijinya. Jadi cotton gin ini termasuk apa?
Mesin.
Ya benar. Cotton gin adalah sebuah mesin. Jadi cotton gin ini merupakan
Mesin.
sebuah mesin, tapi cotton gin sendiri adalah sebuah alat pemisah kapas.
Baik, untuk contoh selanjutnya kita ada kalimat poor farmer John labors 16 hours in a day.
Jadi kata yang dibawahi adalah labor. Ada yang tahu apa arti kata labor?
Tidak.
Kita mencoba menebak kata perkataan dari kalimat ini. Poor farmer John.
Petani yang miskin.
Kemudian kita melanjutkan pada kata labor 16 hours in a day. Jadi kita bisa menebak kata labors dari yang merupakan poor farmer John, petani yang miskin, titik-titik 16 jam per hari. Jadi kata yang tepat adalah bekerja, karena seorang petani yang bekerja 16 jam per hari. Mungkin cukup sekian untuk materi hari ini. Atas perhatian dan partisipasi Anak-anak sekalian, saya ucapkan terima kasih. Okay, we come to the last of our material about practice in teaching vocabulary. And then the last what I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.